Ruth and I extend our heartfelt congratulations to the Covenant Protestant Reformed Church of Northern Ireland and her members on your erection of this splendid church building. We share your joy over this, your own church building, in a special way because we were privileged by God to be involved in the work that climaxes in a way in this fine new building from the beginning of the work. That work began in 1983 and 1984. That's almost 30 years ago now, with contact between a Presbyterian minister in Northern Ireland and myself as fruit on the witness to the gospel by the Protestant Reformed Church of South Holland, Illinois in the United States through its evangelism committee. Early on, Ruth and I and our family lodged that minister in our home, where we discussed future relations between his congregation and the Protestant Reformed churches. Later, we played host to him and to his wife as we cultivated relations. We labored to bring those relations about. Over the years, our contact, first with the congregation, and then with members of the congregation who refused to follow that minister in his subsequent break with the Protestant Reformed churches, remained close. Always, your life, your struggles, and your prospering under the hand of God were on our heart. At a distance, admittedly, we shared in your suffering and in your joy. Although a building is not necessary for a true church of Jesus Christ, you yourselves have long worshipped the triune God in rented facilities, praising Him in Ulster and growing in grace yourselves. And although a building is not at all the most important aspect of the life of the church, preaching, believing, and confessing the pure doctrine of the Word of God is the most important aspect. A church building of her own is important for a congregation. It facilitates her worship and her work, and it enhances her spiritual life. That is not an insignificant importance. The importance of a building for a church is simply the implication of the Bible's description of the church as a building. Ye are built up a spiritual house. 1 Peter 2 verse 5. Also, this building represents something about you, the Covenant Protestant Reformed Church of Northern Ireland, both to yourselves and to the community that is looking on. It represents your arriving at a solid, stable existence. In this respect, having your own church building is the reaching of a goal, not the goal. The goal is the house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens, but a goal along the way of the church in the world. Then several truths concerning the history of this congregation and her members come vividly to my mind and seem to me to demand mention on this occasion. The occasion of attaining a certain goal in the life of the congregation. The first of these truths is the hardships and difficulties of the way that has led to this evening and what this evening represents for you. Never did we imagine such troubles and disappointments as have taken place in the history that leads to this moment. The minister who originated the relation of his congregation with the Protestant Reformed churches in America, changed his mind, dividing his congregation and setting those who were determined for the truth's sake to maintain the relationship adrift without pastor, building, or indeed any ecclesiastical standing. Then, after the faithful members were instituted as the Covenant Protestant Reformed Church of Northern Ireland, leading men in the church saw to the disbanding of the church and themselves returned to the churches whence they had come. Again, individuals and families were put in the position of being without a church. That is a dreadful position. Now, seemingly, the great work had come to naught, had failed. And you understand that I mentioned tonight only the troubles that have been public and that are well known.